It's your host, Stephen Brent Sargeant, coming to you again live. I'm here just recording back-to-back episodes on Sunday afternoon. And I was just having this thought. I was getting ready for my last episode, is that I always have to leave a disclaimer in a lot of my posts. And the reason I do that is because I think everyone should take my advice, my guidance, my suggestions with a grain of salt. I am not your guru. Like Tony Robbins says, I am not your guru. But I do want to explain to you why I think you shouldn't listen to me. Now, I know there's hundreds of reasons why you should listen to me, but there's a few reasons why you shouldn't possibly listen to some of the advice that I give you. I never give financial advice, but I like to give career advice and just talk about a lot of the issues that I feel nobody in the industry is talking to for one reason or another. So let me give you reason number one. I am not for everyone, right? I know I come off high energy. Many of you will say conceited, arrogant, egotistical, misogynistic. I don't quite know what that word means, but I know it's not something not great. You might call me conceited. Like, there's a lot of words that you can call me just if you get a clip of my video. I think most of the people that have connected with me or engaged with me or messaged me know that my intent is really to help people. But I'm also going to use a lot of words for dramatic effect. I'm going to be a little bit spicy and sarcastic in my comments and things, because sometimes I like to stir the pot a little, and sometimes I like all the smoke. Sometimes I'll go after people or they'll come after me. I'm okay with that, but for the most part, I'm just not for everyone. Like, my energy does not resonate with everyone. I may not be on the same vibration as everyone, and to be quite honest, I'm okay with that. I really truly don't care what people think of me. And I know that in itself sounds very egotistical. Once again, I'm okay with that. My wife always tells me, don't say this, don't do that. I don't listen to her because we don't see eye to eye on how I create my content. And, although it's very risky the way I talk, could I lose potentially employment opportunities? Could I turn some of the biggest people in the industry off? Of course. But my goal is to attract the people that are on the same vibration, the creative thinkers that I know I am. I want to attract those people. I'm not trying to convince the other people. I might not be professional and prestigious enough for some people in the industry. I'm okay with that. They can stay in their lane. I'll stay in mine. I won't infringe on their lane. I'm not going to try and cut them off. They do their thing. I do my thing, and I'm okay with that. So that's reason number one. I'm just not for everyone. So really, if I'm not for you, I wouldn't even listen to anything I say, because if I'm not vibrating on your level, and nothing I say is going to very much resonate with you, you're going to think that I'm all about money, or a lot of things I say is grotesque, or other silly words used by some of the people that don't agree with some of the things I say. So the best thing to do is maybe unfollow, keep it moving, and go follow somebody else in the industry. I encourage that, because I only want people that are on my vibe in my community, because that's the way we're going to move forward together. Secondly, I've also spent a lot of money to invest in myself. I am extremely confident. I have a high perception of myself. I have an amazing self-image and self-esteem, but I never always had that. I spent tons of time. I spend many hours a day working on myself, whether that's meditating, whether that's writing in a journal, whether that's listening to my mentors like Hina Khan, Bob Proctor, and others. I spend an immense amount of time on myself a day, because that allows me to fill my cup so I can spend time, engage time with my family, my wife, so I can connect with professionals within the industry. It takes a lot of time to do that. I think I've invested a lot of money to do that. I think it's a solid investment. I think everyone that has a glimpse or a hint of wanting to better themselves should invest in someone that they trust and someone that resonates with them. My coach is amazing. I think the amount she charges is drops in the bucket compared to the value that she gives. However, you have to be able to resonate with that person. Some might want to resonate with someone more alpha, like an Andy Frisella. I do resonate with that person as well. But I think for me, I like a motherly coach. So Know that. Number three, when I give advice about career or compensation or negotiations or courses, I'm extremely confident in my ability. So even if you give me a not so great course and I take it, some people be like, "Oh my God, that course was so bad. It was so fluffy. It didn't have anything." I usually take that opportunity, even if the course is not that great. I utilize those courses to benefit myself. So, for example, the Canadian Institute for Financial Crime Analysis, CIFCA course, not many people value that as great in the industry. It was more expensive than ACAMS. They didn't feel it was longer. You know, it was every week. I teach that course now. I still think that's one of the best courses in the industry. But the reason why I liked it is because I could sit at the time face to face with some of the best professionals, whether it was Cyrus or Faisal or Peter Wark. Like I was able to sit with them and get to know better them and speak to them before and after class and ask them important questions, which you really can't do with a lot of the ACAMS material because it's a lot of self-study, which is not bad. But I was able to take advantage of the course. Some people might have said in CIFCA, like, "Oh, this is not that great." You know, just if you're just doing the work, it may not be the best for you. But I have an extreme confidence in my ability to do well with whatever I'm given. So a lot of the information I give out will be based on my belief in that. So I'll take all the courses. I want to take all the courses. I don't want to just ask people what's the best course. I want to take all the courses and decide what's the best for me or what I can take from that course that was really important or that could be useful in my career. So when people ask me what courses to take, I try to give you what I think would be beneficial for you. But when I give that information generally out to my audience, that's not a one size fits all. I give reasons why I think it's beneficial, but some of the other courses could be better for you that I'm not suggesting. So keep that in mind. I think we're on fourth. I'm not scared to go to zero. So, you know, like a lot of the things I talk about when it comes to compensation and how to treat interviews, I'm not worried. I have a huge mortgage. I have 2 kids to feed. I have a wife. I have a lifestyle that many would call probably expensive or very materialistic. I'm okay with that. But I'm also not scared if I lose everything because I say the wrong thing or if the industry tries to cancel me for whatever reason or not. I'm okay with like just doing what I want to do and acting the way I want to act because it's 100% me. Nobody's going to be able to say like, oh, you know, Steven acts this way in front of this people and then behind the scenes he's that way. Probably, I think most people would say I'm pretty consistent across the board. So you have to be confident in your own ability. And then secondly, you gotta be confident in like, hey, if everything hits the fan, like look at COVID. I thrived through COVID because I'm not scared to go to zero. Where a lot of people played defense, I played offense. I was the one thinking like, how can we upsize our house during the middle of a pandemic? Way before the house prices went up. So you have to be able to play offense, in my opinion. So a lot of the advice I give is going to be playing offense. I'm not going to worry about things like inflation or COVID. Is it there? Yes. Do I acknowledge it? Yes. But the advice I'm giving you is despite it. So that's what you have to realize. So if you're scared of all those things, if you're focused on all those things and try to take my advice, it may not work out the same way because my mindset is about like, how do I forever expand? How do I get more? How do I gain more? How do I help people more? How do I be of more service? So just remember, a lot of the information I'm giving you is from that mindset. Lastly, I have biases. Everyone has biases. And that's why I'm like, I always take everyone's information with a grain of salt. So when people post about a course and say, hey, like, go check out this course, are they getting a 20% kickback if they promote that course because they were a student and now the offer is if you get more students, you get percent? Like, I think about things like that. That's a reality in this industry. And I have a lot of affiliate arrangements out. You would never know what they are is because I always am pretty confident in the choices I give, whether I'm getting a percentage back or not. Usually I just give those percentages out as discounts to other people in the industry. That's my bias though. And everyone's going to have a little bit of a bias. I'm also attracted to creative people. So a lot of the people that I highlight, the Aries, the Leats, the Amber, they're just very creative people. I think they create content. I'm always attracted to people doing similar things to I am. So I'm probably going to highlight those people more than maybe just people that are really great industry professionals that don't create any content. Doesn't mean I don't like them or I don't think what they're doing is great. It's just I'm not like going to be magnetized to them or talk about them as much. I talk about people that do similar things to me. So that's a bias I have. That's something you should be careful of. Doesn't, like I'm going to only highlight certain people just because I'm really interested. And I go based on my interactions on vibe or energy. So there's just some people in the industry that don't rub me the right way. And I just don't interact with them because I'm just not vibing with them. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I don't respect them as an industry participant, but some of the things they do, I just don't vibe. And I'm sure I don't vibe with a lot of people too. So I'm not going to highlight those people or talk about those people or talk about those companies. There's a lot of blockchain analytics companies that I very rarely talk about. I can think about one is Merkle Science. I know a couple of really great people there. I have conversations with those people. Their product is decent, but I think I had a bad interaction with them when I was with TCAE and, they were trying to come and like maybe conquer the Toronto market. I just got the heebie jeebies and I wasn't vibing with them. So it's hard for me to engage with them, their content, their conferences, their webinars, because I don't feel some of the things that some of the people from the organization did were very authentic. So I go by vibe. Does that mean it's a bad company? Of course not. Does that mean that you should interact with them? Of course not. But it just doesn't mean that I don't want to interact with them or I don't want to promote some of their stuff. If they have good stuff, will I still promote it? Of course. But it's hard for me to promote things when I'm not really engaged in it. So these are the things you should worry about when you're getting advice from me. Take it with a grain of salt. My job is to provoke you to think about things that you could do, not to tell you what you should do. I try to give a lot of ideas so you can pick and choose what you want, or at least get you to think a different way. Like, he said this. This might not be perfect for my situation, but I will take that thought process and use it for something else. That is my job, is to help you think differently, help you think outside the box, help you create more opportunities, not necessarily listen to what I did or what I could do. I try to give you as much examples just so you can, I'm an example person, just so you can vision what I'm talking about. I try to give you a lot of the behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of professionals are going to talk about, because professionals don't want to talk about how much money they're making, or they may not want to give you insights on how you should make more money, because you might be in their eyes coming after their jobs or some of the money pool that they have kind of outlined. I'm here to break down all those walls. I want everyone in this industry to make a lot of money, but I'm very realistic that only a few are, because only a few are ambitious enough or are going to take the right steps to make that money. Everyone else is going to follow the herd. And I think that we should reward those people that are a little bit more ambitious. I hope this helps. This conversation probably doesn't help a lot of people, but it gives you an idea of my thought process. And at least if you're following, listening to me, watching my YouTube, subscribing to my YouTube, if you're reviewing my podcast or adding in any comments, commenting on my LinkedIn. I appreciate you guys always for doing that, to be quite honest. I think what I do best is creating conversations, engagement. Can we engage, start more conversations, learn from each other, not so much behind the scenes, but learn from each other in front of the industry so other industry participants can understand, can learn, and can participate. All right, guys, quick podcast for you. Hope this helps. See you next time.